It's our reality, just your average family trying to be normal and stay out of trouble, living a double life.
What's up? Today we got Thunderman's Season 2, Episode 23, The Girl with the Dragon Snafu. Yeah, we got the penultimate episode of the season, and next episode's the two-part finale. So, yeah, just excited for the two-part finale. But anyway, this episode starts off at Hinville High, where a teacher says the gong is a variety. We get a new class. We don't know what the class is. They never say it, but it could be Chinese, because this episode is about Chineseness. The gong has a variety of uses. In China, allow her to demonstrate the most obvious one, to wake someone up. She hits the gong, and, of course, Max wakes up. Sarah says, even with all that crusty drool all over his face, Max is still adorable. Ew. Sarah. It will know. Yeah. Phoebe tells Sarah, as her friend, she says that the gong would treat her better than Max will. Kind of agree with that. Like, I do agree that the gong would treat her better than Max would, because that's just how it would. Like, Max wouldn't treat her well. He'd probably abuse her because, he'd probably be a terrible husband because, he's Max. He'd probably abuse her. Probably abusive. So, Sarah, you should really get with another guy who's actually treats you better, because I don't think Max is that guy. The teacher says that the teacher does have a name that they reveal later, but I'm not going to say it because they don't reveal it till the end. So I'm just going to call her the teacher says that this week's assignment is to break into groups and do a presentation on Chinese culture. Max says he loves working in groups, and Phoebe says because it's only less work for him, and Max says more work for him. That means it's no work for him. Now, find himself a group of nerds to call his own. Phoebe says, hope he knows she's not talking about her group, because they're not nerds. Sarah says, come on, Phoebe, let's aboard the A train, choo-choo. And then Max says, you're right, you're not nerds, you're basically dweebs. You're clearly dweebs. Phoebe says, call them whatever you want. There'd be no group you'd rather be in. Then Winnie Lee tells Phoebe to join her group, and then Phoebe says, except that one. Yeah. Then Max says, yeah, Phoebe is caught between two groups. Phoebe says, stay on my face, Max. Max is like, Phoebe is caught between two groups. Winnie, the girl who she's been trying to be friends with for like 2 episodes. Or Sarah, the girl she's been best friends since season 1. Which one will she choose? Obviously, she chooses the popular group. Yep. Sarah says, I can't believe Phoebe ditched them. How are they going to find another one? Then some guy tries to join the group, but Max uses telekinesis to knock him over a table, and Max decides to join the nerd group. After the opening, Phoebe says she's sorry she's not with them. Winnie's group really needs her, and she said Sarah gets it, doesn't he? Sarah says she gets it. Phoebe's hopping off the A train, and good luck on the D+ train, which is a good roast. Max says he's really excited about this group. He's feeling the love, Tyler, and Tyler says, Max stole his bike last week. And Max says, he did Tyler a favor. The thing fell off as soon as Max busted it. Whatever that means. I guess Max broke it because it's Max. But Evan says, Sarah, he doesn't think Max is really going to do much really gonna do much. And Sarah says, why is that? Because he's literally leaving the room. And Sarah tells Max to get back here. And Max is like, ah, and get. Sarah says, look, Max, he will always be her bae, but he needs to take this project seriously as she takes their forbidden love. Max says, believe him, he wants the A2. That's the only reason why he joined this group. And Sarah says, great, so what's his idea? I don't know, what's yours? A Chinese dragon. And Max says, that's good, bae. And again, I love Max, but it's just, like, I love Max. Yeah. Meanwhile, in the popular group, Phoebe says she's thinking about they could work together on the project at the library. Sabrina says, ooh, is that a new club downtown? And Phoebe says, no, it's a place where you learn things. When he says, Phoebe's right, let's meet at the mall. Even though Phoebe says, that's not what I said. I shouldn't say that, but I just got that meme from Click when as soon as I typed that up, I said I got that meme from Clip where that kid tells Adam Sandler rehearses the kid, tricks the kid into saying something, and then he says, that's not what I said. It's really funny. I never saw Click, but it's just that meme for some reason resurfaced in my brain once I saw that, so I decided to put that there. It's really funny. So yeah, and Sabrina says, yay, the mall. Meanwhile, in the B plot, we're back to B plots again. Hank and Barb decide to check their to-do list. First, write to-do list. Check. Then they'll fix the dishwasher. Then Barb can pick up dry cleaning. Hank will mow the lawn. And the other thing is, then Billy falls through the floor. So they say to fix the floorboard. Billy says the house ate his legs, and Nora says he fell through the floor because Hank was supposed to fix it. Hank says he's really busy, and Nora says she doesn't think he's that busy. The chandelier has been sitting in it so long it turned into an end table. Hank says he'll put it on the to-do list right after ground Nora for being sassy. Okay, that was funny, but at least next season Nora is no longer sassy and mean. But anyway, Barb says, yeah, the kids have no idea how hard it is they work around here. And Billy says, is that why they had salt and pepper sandwiches for dinner last night? And Barb says, they didn't have time to go for shopping. Nora says, is that a new necklace? And she says, she meant food shopping. Hank says, cut her some slack. Their clothes are clean and the house is spotless. Nora says, is it, Hank? Is it? And opens the door to reveal all of the toys and suitcases and stuff. Barb says Barb says, Barb says, so you think it's easy to cook, clean, and repair things, do everything else while Billy and Nora enjoy their little lives? Nora says, kinda, and Billy says he thinks so, and Hank says so. So they think they can take care of the house, try to do all better, while he and Barb enjoy their little lives. Nora says, fine. And if they do a better job running the house, then they get to be in charge around here from now on. Billy says, tell them what to do, what to eat, where to go to bed, and ground them for being sassy. Barb says, deal. And when the two fail, they'll finally appreciate what her and Hank do around here, including making really good guest lists. Billy says, why not pull him out of the sinkhole? And Hank says, on that great list. Billy says, Billy says, what about pulling him from sinkholes on that great list? Hank says no, but he'll add it. Meanwhile, in A-Plot, outside, the nerd group, yeah, technically they're dweebs, but I'm just gonna keep calling him the nerd group. The nerd group is working on the dragon project. Max says they're nailing that dragon. Evan says, Max, they've been doing this work for a couple days, and he's not sure he's seen Max leave that chair. Max says, oh, Ernie, and Evan says, it's Evan. And he says, let's agree to disagree. Again, I love Max. But Sarah says, Evan's right, Max. You need to do your part, but it's not getting so hot, so why don't you take out that tank top? That's fine. Phoebe shows up saying, their dragon looks awesome. She's impressed. Sarah says, you're impressed? What? Phoebe didn't think they could do it something cool without her? Phoebe says, no, she's just surprised Max hasn't dragged them down. His nickname around the house is Deadweight. Okay. Phoebe says, don't listen to her, Sarah. She should judge because their group works so well. Max says, Arnie, a refill. And Sarah says, how's Phoebe group coming on? Phoebe says, they're doing great. All the girls want to do is work, work, work. Then Winnie Lee shows up with the stuff Phoebe forgot, the dresses and stuff that Phoebe forgot at the mall. Yep. Phoebe says, thanks, Winnie, and she says, they're for research. Hasn't Sarah heard of the Great Mall of China? And Sarah says, no. And Phoebe says, well, don't Sarah feel silly. And Phoebe leaves. Evan says, his cheeks are tingling. Either it means it's gonna rain, or the glue contains shellfish. Tyler says, he should have never said hi to Evan in the 3rd grade. Or no, in the 4th grade. Sarah says, Max, they have to leave, so after the paper mache dries, can you put it in the garage? Max says, on it, and Tyler says, maybe they should come back after and do it. And Billy themselves. Sarah says, Max says he'll do it. Maybe they can come back. Yeah, says he'll do it. Would someone like Dimples like Max could swim in and let them down? Max says, relax. He's not an idiot. He'll bring in the dragon before it rains. Cut to the dragon. It's still outside and it's raining. Costa says, he should tell Max. Costa says, he should tell Max to wake up and he should wake Max up and tell him the paper dragon's out there. Max wakes up saying it's really raining outside. Did he forget something? Costa's like, nope, go back to bed. And Max does. Wow. Like, Costa's like, yeah, I should remind Max about what he did. And then Costa's like, yeah, he's a super villain. He's a bad, bad bunny. Of course he's not going to do that. It's funny. Meanwhile, in the B plot, Hank discovers the floorboards were fixed. And Billy and Nora fixed the floorboards and now they're making breakfast. Billy says, yeah, these godmen did it. And Nora says, they work best in the morning when Hank and Barb are sleeping in. Barb says it's going to take a lot more than a fixed floor and a hot breakfast to impress them. Right, Hank? And Hank says, the syrup is warm. Warm! Meanwhile, in the A plot, at Timberville High, Winnie says, look, girls, Phoebe is rocking her new shoes. And Phoebe says, you know what else they love? The project top. They're going to love the project top she came up with last night. All the stuff they can put together. By tomorrow, Winnie says, they'll be fine. They'll just wing it. As long as they look good and they'll get a C. Phoebe says, a C? They want a C? Yeah, that's the whole thing of this episode. That Phoebe thought Winnie's group would be so cool and so good. But then she realizes, yeah, they're not all that good people after all. And that they're kind of just lazy slackers who'd rather go shopping and do stuff rather than actually do hard work like Phoebe is. So, yeah. This kind of makes Phoebe regret her decision of betraying Sarah. So, yeah. Sabrina says her dad would be so happy if she got a C. Sabrina says her dad would be so happy if she got a C. Phoebe says, listen, how about they meet at her house and they'll work really hard? And Neil is saying, imagine how happy Sabrina's dad would be if she got an A. She got an A. When he said she can't tonight, she has plans, and Sabrina says she has to babysit her brother, but Phoebe says you're an only child. And she says, yeah, she actually just doesn't want to do the work. Yep. And since yeah, Phoebe says she can't do this by herself. They're gonna have to put in some work, or sorry, she'll have to leave. She doesn't have to do it, but she can't be a part of the group. When he says okay, and Phoebe says okay, let's get to work. But when he says no, but what you mean by okay is like okay, Phoebe's no longer part of this group. Yeah, and they leave. Phoebe tries to get back into Sarah's group, but Sarah says, yeah, the train's full. Maybe she can catch one next to the Great Mall of China, and they leave. Meanwhile, at Himville High, we get this scene where Phoebe tells the teacher that she doesn't have a group, and that Sarah finds out that Max didn't put the dragon in his garage. So Max tries to use his muscles to influence Sarah. So they take off Sarah's glasses. So yeah, so she's basically revealed. So she can no longer see. So she sees the truth. She kicks Max out of the group and says they can still be lovers, but they cannot be in the same group together. So yeah. So Phoebe says. So the teacher says, "There's go Phoebe," and Phoebe says, "Okay, put me in Sarah's group." She's like, "No, you and Max will work together." And that's how we get this scene. This Phoebe's weird face over her and Max. And also we get Max's great abs. Great muscles. Wait a minute. Yeah, Max says he'll get them a B. And meanwhile in the B plot, get it? B plot. Hank checks the closet to see how good Billy Nora checks. Says where's his stuff, and Nora says check. Barb says check the closet, and Hank's open this to see Billy Nora cleaned it out and made it into a bathroom. Barb says, how are Billy Nora running the house better than they are? They even hung the chandelier. Hank said that Hank never got to. Hank says he's not really gonna hang that thing anyway. They can't let Nora and Billy win the bet. How can you imagine their lives will be like? It will be nightmare fuel. Yeah. I mean, imagine their lives will be like with Billy and Nora in charge. Then we get a flash forward to Billy and Nora serving Hank and Barb junk food as they complain about their teeth falling out. That was horrifying to even look at. It's still in my mind. Thanks a lot, Thurman. You gave me nightmares. The show. And the word. They gave me nightmares. Hank says, flash forward ends, and Hank says they can't let that happen. How will you choose steak? Barb says they're gonna have to make sure the house falls apart under Billy and Nora's walk. And Hank says, way ahead of him, and he breaks the bathroom. Meanwhile, in the A plot, at the Thunder House, Max says, it's getting late, partner. She should just glue some glue extravaganza by now. Phoebe says she's not going to do her project by herself. Max says, really? Because they both know he's not doing it. So why didn't she uncork that overachieving annoying beast and lurks inside her and get cracking? Phoebe says she's not going to sit here. She's going to sit here and do nothing until Max helps. Max says, is she? This is gonna be good. He's gonna have a snack and watch her crack. So after eating how many apple, Phoebe finally caves, and it says that they're going to be making Chinese food for their project because that's what superheroes do. And when they have a team, they pull through for their team. Not like he knows anything about that. Max says, really, superhero? If he hadn't been so anxious to hang out with Winnie, she'd still be with Sarah's group and the dragon would be fine. Phoebe says, but you ruined that dragon. Max says, he was only in Sarah's group because Phoebe had ditched them. Phoebe says, typical Max. It wasn't her fault. And Phoebe says, that was his mile since 2005. And Phoebe says, this act is really getting old. He's looking for an easy A. He's afraid that isn't that why he became a supervillain? Because he was afraid that he couldn't be better as a superhero than her? Did he even try? Max says he's not dignifying with that response because he's lazy and because she's holding a knife. I love Max. And Phoebe says everything he does is because he's afraid of failure. He thinks it's easier to not try and then try and end up failing. That should be his new motto. Max says maybe she should focus more on her food and less. Then she puts a lot of noodles in and it expands. Then Max says maybe she should focus more on her food and more. And Phoebe says they're supposed to do that. Meanwhile, in the B plot, Hank says Billy and Nora think they're so great because they could hang a chandelier. Well, they're gonna chandelier their pants when. Yeah, that wasn't a very good joke, Hank. When this comes crashing down, Barb says she just scorched the flower garden Billy and Nora planted. Let's see them grow that back overnight. And that's kind of what he's doing. Hank says he took a bullet out of the chandelier, so when Billy goes clean, boom. Barb says that's crazy. She just scorched a tulip. He's literally trying to have something fall on their kids. So then Then Hank says, it's a learning opportunity, Barb. And Nora says, it's the last day of the bet. Billy says, what's the laugh for? And Hank blames it on Barb by saying that she worked the chandelier to make them fall so they looked bad. Nora says, Barb and Hank are so grounded when they win the bet. And Barb says, they've already won the bet. Billy and Nora have run the house better than them, and Hank better than her and Hank, and made it easy. Yeah. They say, okay, you guys go clean out the master bedroom. They're gonna turn into a gaming farm. Billy says, wait, and then Nora says, Billy, what are you doing? And Billy says, we don't deserve a gaming farm. They didn't really do all the work. They tried, but then they tried and it was really hard. So they got a bunch of superheroes from their old friends, superheroes from Metroburg, like Iron Skillet and the Iron Maiden and all Iron Maiden and all the other superheroes and Handyman and all the other superheroes to help. Nora says, good looking Billy. Good working Billy. And then the chandelier falls and then they say, good thing that was not them, and they leave. Meanwhile in the A plot, Billy gives Phoebe a dragon head, and Phoebe says, and Phoebe says, sorry he was late. He was going through the Great Mall of China, and Phoebe says, that's real, and then Billy says, it's her project. She should know these things, and speeds out, which is kind of funny. Phoebe gives Sarah the dragon head, and Sarah says she should have been in Sarah's group from the start. She messed up and let them down. And Sarah says she really missed them. Then we see Tyler and Evan fighting and says she really missed them. She really missed her. Anyway, meanwhile, Winnie Lee is doing her project on her friend's clothes. They get a C, and Sabrina says her dad's gonna get her a new car. Phoebe goes up despite Max not being there, and Phoebe tries to do something on egg roll, and they crack. Then Max shows up and shows his new project, the fireworks. And the teacher asked what he said, and he said what Phoebe said. Do not trail. You try, but you still fail, but you try. Or whatever Phoebe said in that previous scene. And then Max says it was Phoebe's idea, and the teacher said that was a good idea. That was good. Mrs. Austin says she loves it. Phoebe and Max are in the same group. Phoebe says she and Max are in the same group, and this is their project, so they get an A. Yeah. Phoebe takes Max aside and says what he used, and Max says he was making fuses and packing bootleg gunpowder. And Phoebe says, what's that text really say? Then Max says, it says Phoebe's a wet donkey. And then Phoebe says, egg roll? And Max eats it to end the episode, and we never see Tyler or Winnie Lee ever again. So, yeah, that was this episode. But next we got the big one, the big 2-part finale. A hero is born. Bum, 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 bum. Next episode, we get a new member of the Thunderman family. And, yeah, we get Barb is somehow pregnant. I don't know how. Maybe she and Hank did some dirtiness off screen. But, yeah, Barb just is suddenly pregnant now. Again, their 5th kid. But the problem is that Nora feels left out because literally she used to be the cute one. But now she feels like she's losing her cuteness. So she enters, I think, a baby pageant to make herself know that she's still the cute one. Nora's insane. I know next season they'll make her nicer now. They'll make her nicer, but she's insane. Yeah. I know. Yeah. And also, yeah. But anyway, that's it for this video. And I'll see you next time for the first part of the 2-part finale, the 2-part season finale. A hero is born.